Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today I have two more videos for you guys. These are nature release videos. Two videos in particular, we're going to be watching them because each of them is only like 3 minutes long, so it shouldn't make the actual video that you're watching too long. So without wasting any time, let's go ahead and watch these videos. This one is explaining ice release, which I think we all know there's a certain character who is famous for utilizing ice in battles. So
what's going on, everybody? Swagkage here, and welcome to today's video, where we're going to be talking about Ice Release, though you may also know it as Ice Style or Hyoton. Ice Release is one of the first Kekkei to have appeared in the series, and made its appearance long before the idea of a combined nature release Kekkei was introduced to the audience. But when Kakashi and Yamato were explaining how Kekkei and nature releases work to Naruto, it was revealed that Ice Release is composed of Water Release and Wind Release. Unlike most of the other nature release Kekkei present in the series, Ice Release seems to be tied to a specific clan, at least for the most part. As a matter of fact, with the exception of Blaze Release, I think Ice Release is the only clan-specific chakra nature, as each and every other chakra nature, be they Kekkei or not, have been used by various people who all hail from different clans. The same can't be said about Ice Release, though, as it's what the Yuki clan is famous for. The nature is often pretty strongly associated with the Yuki clan, and for good reason, as its only users have all hailed from this clan. Mostly, anyway. If we're not counting novels, in various Naruto light novels, there are other characters who aren't Yuki clan members who can use Ice Release, and as a matter of fact, Momoshiki even does it in the Boruto novel. But outside of books, Haku, his mother, and the rest of the Yuki clan were the only known users of this nature. Now, despite its rarity, Ice Release isn't all that remarkable, especially when you compare it to some of the other Kekkei I've talked about so far, like Scorch Release, Wood Release, and Particle Release. Now, that's not to say it's terrible. Ice Release is still pretty cool, though there isn't much to say about what it can be used for. It does exactly what you'd think it would. It allows its users to create and manipulate ice in various forms. Now, if we're talking manga only, the applications for this ability aren't all that varied. With Ice Release, Haku has shown the ability to create a barrier and the crystal ice mirrors, and that's about it. In an anime-only scene in Naruto episode 17, Haku does use Ice Release to create a bunch of really sharp, icy spears, and this ability has even been carried over into the Ultimate Ninja and Ultimate Ninja Storm games. But aside from that, there are no other ways that Haku applies this nature. The demonic mirroring ice crystals technique is a pretty cool one, but it's
I know what the hell happened there, but
complex enough to receive its own video, so I won't be talking about it in depth here. Anyhow, as I said at the beginning of the video, all of the other applications of Ice Release are novel exclusive, so they're not as well known as Haku's Ice Release jutsu, but they're still no more creative than Haku's are. One guy uses an ice punch, one guy uses an ice sword. They're just very generic ice attacks. Even the main villain of the movie Ninja Clash in the Land of
still, people are still waiting for your book, George. Still waiting for that goddamn book.
Ninja Clash in the Land of Snow has super lame ice release jutsu. He can create like snow wolves, an ice dragon, ice spears, that
Hold on, these technically belong to two different people. My bad. Okay.
sort of thing, but they aren't very creative applications of ice. It's just, let me turn this ice into one thing. Now let me turn this ice into another thing. Nothing you'd really need explained to you. One possible noteworthy trait that Ice Release may have is a resistance to fire release, though I'm not sure if this goes for all Ice Release techniques, since the only one that displays any sort of resistance to fire is Haku's Crystal Ice Mirrors technique. And all it really managed to do was regenerate from the damage it took from a Guinea level fire attack. So I don't know if that's very concrete evidence, but hey,
I personally think, yeah, see, I mean, even Haku kind of says you can't melt this ice with that level of fire. I personally think that if Haku were to try to use it against someone like, let's say, Madara, I don't think the ice would have withstood it, because, I mean, Madara's fire jutsu, I mean, Sasuke was, like, he was strong, but nowhere near as strong as, like, let's say, how do I say this, like, as strong as he could have been if, let's say, for example, his family members didn't die. If, let's say, he grew up with Itachi and his father who were able to train him, I personally think that by the time he reached this age, if he were to fight against someone like Haku, I think he would have been able to do a lot better. But because that didn't happen, because he had to basically teach himself a lot of these things, unfortunately, he wasn't able to grow, and he wasn't able to properly utilize that insane potential that he had. And it honestly kind of sucks. Same thing with Naruto, though.
hey, it happened, so I just thought it was worth mentioning. So that about does it for Ice Release. Next week, I'm going to be talking about Boya Release. Then after that, I'm going to be talking about Blaze Release. Then I'll be completely done.
Which we did react to.
with all of the canon nature releases. Yeah, that's cool. Anyhow, till my next video, make sure you subscribe if you're new here, and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Check the description for the links to my Patreon and Twitter account if you really love me. And above all, thank you for watching the video all the way to the end, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Sorry for the short video length, but I mean, Ice release is kind of, well, it's not my fault. But yeah, anyway, till next time, talk to you guys later. Swagkage out. Bye.
Okay, so that is Ice release. Next, we're going to be moving on to Storm release. But before we do, guys, I just want to remind you that if you want to support the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button and also leaving a like, because it really will help my channel with the algorithm. And also, you will help me get to my goal of reaching 1,000 subs before the end of the year, because that is my goal. So with that being said, let's move on to Storm release. Now, like I said, these are pretty short videos, so in the future, I'm hoping to do more nature release videos and hopefully combining multiple into one video, because they're really not that long, so we can get through them pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and watch this.
What's going on, everybody? Swagkage here, and welcome to today's video, where we're going to be talking about Storm Release, also known as Gale Style, Storm Style, or Ranton. Storm Release is a nature release Kekkei Genkai composed of Lightning Release and Water Release, though despite what both its name and composition may lead you to believe, it has nothing to do with the manipulation of storms or thunderclouds. It's actually a pretty literal combination of these two natures, as Storm Release involves the manipulation of electricity that flows in the same way that water does. In layman's terms, this allows a person to manipulate lasers and other condensed beams of energy. At least as far as I'm aware anyway, because what do you know, Storm Release hasn't been explored all that heavily. Who would have guessed? Storm Release, like many of the other Kekkei Genkai I've talked about, has pretty much no showings at all. It has a grand total of two ninjutsu classified under it in the manga, and consequently I'm left with very little to say about it. Now, granted, both of these techniques do work just as I've said all Storm Release techniques do, so at the very least it keeps the concept from being too confusing, but still, only two of them? Whatever. Anyway, these two techniques are Storm Release
That's the thing that, again, you kind of have to follow Kishimoto for this, because he introduces these techniques and sometimes never goes into detail or barely has any characters utilizing these abilities, and it's just, you have to wonder, it's like, dude, why did you even put this in the manga if you weren't even at least going to explain them a little bit? I mean, did you just expect your fans to just come up with their own explanations? I mean, that's fine. I mean, fans are going to do that, but it's still not an actual explanation from, the author. You're the one who has to go into detail about this, not us. And yeah, someone might say, well, there's the data books and everything. You shouldn't have to rely on data books just to get the information that you need. I mean, I understand going to the data books to, get, let's say, supplementary information. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's just, this really shouldn't be the case. And again, this is, see, it always kills me whenever someone says, you're a Naruto fan, so you think, oh, this series is perfect. No, ask almost every Naruto fan. They will all tell you, we know the series is not perfect. Okay, believe me, we've been with this series for years. We know it's not perfect. Yeah, we still love it. I mean, that's not going to change, but that doesn't mean we don't acknowledge that it has flaws. And that to me is just, I never understood why there are so many people who look at Naruto fans and say, oh, you must be someone who thinks the series is absolutely perfect. And it was the same thing with Dragon Ball fans. It's the same thing with Bleach fans. It's the same thing with One Piece fans. It's the same thing with almost any shonen that you can think of. My Hero. Let's see, what other shonen is coming out now? Jujutsu Kaisen. Let's see, there's also Chainsaw Man. I haven't started reading that, although maybe I should. I mean, the anime did get announced, so I'm starting to think maybe I should get into that. It's just, I don't know what it is that causes people to look at shonen fans and just accuse us of being these diehard fanboys and fangirls about these properties, when in reality we acknowledge the flaws just as much as anyone. In fact, probably more than anyone, because we love this thing so much that we can't help but notice the flaws, and it honestly pisses us off. Anyway,
Laser Circus and Sage
Sorry
Art
about that
Storm
little
Release
rant.
Light Fang. The first of these two that I'll talk about is Storm Release Laser Circus. Well, its name actually translates to Storm Release Encouraging Crushing Chain Tormenting Principle, but the Romaji for the name is Ranton Reiza Sakasu, and I guess the dubbing team just thought that this sounded enough like Laser Circus to just make Laser Circus the technique's English name. Not that I blame them. Laser Circus is a pretty fitting name for this technique, and it rolls off the tongue quite a bit more easily than Encouraging Crushing Chain Tormenting Principle does. Well, hey, whatever. If the shoe fits, yeah. Anyway, Laser Circus is a pretty cool technique. It's the only Storm Release technique that Darui has actually used, but it's pretty versatile, so I can see why he falls back on it so often. Laser Circus involves the manipulation of a volley of energy beams that the user can alter the direction of mid-flight. It can be used to strike multiple targets at once with a portion of the technique's full power, or to strike one person with the full force of the laser barrage. Sage Art Storm Release Light Fang is a Storm Release technique enhanced by Senjutsu, of course, and involves the user creating a thin beam of energy that they release from their mouth. This beam of energy is allegedly really hard to dodge since it supposedly moves at light speed, 186,000 miles per second, and is also apparently capable of cutting through truth-seeking orbs, even though those nullify all ninjutsu, so I don't know how it works. Now,
Think about it. It is powered by nature energy, so I guess that sort of gives it a reason. Although the truth-seeking orbs are supposed to nullify all ninjutsu. I don't think they ever. I mean, I understand that Six Bad's characters are weak to senjutsu, but I don't think they ever said that that also extends to truth-seeking orbs. If I'm being honest, I just, yeah. Yeah, the details do get a little iffy when it comes to there. So
kind of lied at the beginning of the video, not only when I said there are only 2 storm release techniques, but also when I said that it has nothing to do with the manipulation of storms or thunderclouds. But I wasn't entirely lying, because what I said is true if we're speaking manga only. But in Naruto Shippuden the movie The Will of Fire, there's a guy called Hiruko who can in fact manipulate storm clouds, and it is confirmed that he does this by using storm release. One of the thunderclouds absorbs chakra, and the other one just shoots lightning out at people when they get too close to it, so I don't see what keeps it from being a lightning release technique, but I'm not one of the writers, so whatever. Anyway, that's all there is to say about storm release, so yeah, gonna wrap up here. This was the most heavily requested nature release Kekkei Genkai for me to talk about in the comments of the last video, and the one I saw the second most amount of support for was explosion release, so I'm gonna be covering that next week. Of course, as always, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to get updates
Which
when
we'll
I
get
post
to,
new
of course.
content. Maybe leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and make sure to leave a comment below if you have any ideas for future anime lore videos you want me to do. Thank you guys for watching the video all the way to the end. Hope to see you in my next video, and I'll talk to you later. Swagkage out. Bye.
Okay, so that is the video. So I mean, yeah, it's like he said. I mean, these techniques are awesome, but the problem is that we rarely ever see them utilized in the series. I mean, yeah, there's the novels and movies, but the thing is, a lot of people don't even read those. A lot of people don't even have access to them, even if they wanted to read them. So, I mean, it honestly kind of sucks, but we do kind of wish it was available in the actual manga. But it is what it is. Anyway, I'm gonna end the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to leave a like, sub, and share, not just to my channel but also to Swag channel. Go show him some support. And if you have a video you want me to watch, just let me know about it, as always, in the comment section down below. I really appreciate your support, and I hope to see you for the next reaction. Bye for now.